Hello everyone. In today's lecture, we are going to see one of the building material that is stone, right? For your subject building material and concrete technology. Now today we are going to see one material that is stone. Before that we'll see some introduction in building material and concrete technology. In this subject, we have to study various types of building materials, right, which are used for building. Now these materials, there may be you have to study what do you mean by stone, what do you mean by brick, types of bricks, then tiles, then wood, then glass, then paint. Okay, these are different types of building materials. You have to study these materials thoroughly. Now, all the building structures are composed of different types of materials, right? These materials are either called as a building materials or building materials of construction. Okay. Now, as a engineering point of view, or as a contractor, or as an architect, everyone should know, or it is very essential to know the building materials thoroughly. What are the properties of building materials, right? Their different propositions, then what is the purpose to use that material, then important tools for that. These all should be known to engineer, an architect or contractor. Okay, and ultimately what it gives, it gives the strength of your structure, and also the economy. You will get to know the economy and cost of your material. Now you should know that the material cost in a building ranges from 30 to 50%. Okay, 30 to 50% cost of your total construction, right? So it is very important to study the building materials. And in addition to the material economy, the correct use of material results in better structural strength, then functional efficiency and aesthetic appearance. Okay, so this is the introduction for the building materials. Now, in today's lecture, we are going to see the first material, that is stone. Okay. Now, before looking toward the stone, you should know the classification of rocks. Okay. Stones are made up of rocks only. Now, this is already studied in engineering geology subject. Okay. Now we will see just briefly what is the classification of rock. First one is your building stones are obtained from rocks occurring in nature and classified in three ways. Okay. Now the first classification is your geological classification. Second one is your physical classification of rock, and third one is your chemical classification of rock. Now geological classification, there are three types. Okay, and according to geological classification, rocks are further divided in three types. Now the first type is your igneous rock, right? Now what is mean by igneous rock? Rocks are formed by cooling of magmic lava. Okay, magmic lava or magna, what is we called it as a magma, which comes from earth crust, and it comes from earth crust and get coolant, and the rock is formed. That rock is called as a igneous rock. Okay, so here I write the molten and pasty rocky material, right? The granite, for example, granite, then ballast and dolerite are the examples of igneous rock. Now, the second type is your sedimentary rock. These rocks are formed by deposition of production of weathering on pre-existing rocks. Okay, whatever the pre-existing rocks, they are get deformed or deposited on one another and form the another rock due to the weathering effect, and that rocks are called as a sedimentary rock or secondary rocks. Okay, then the example for sedimentary rocks are gravels, then sandstone, limestone, gypsum, ignite, etc. You have to just remember the examples for igneous rock, sedimentary rock, Okay. Now next one is your metamorphic rock. Okay. This is called as a tertiary rock. Igneous means your primary, sedimentary is your secondary, and metamorphic is your tertiary rock. Okay. Now what do you mean by metamorphic rock? These rocks are formed by the change in characters of pre-existing rock. The igneous as well as sedimentary rocks are changed in character when they subjected to great heat and pressure. When it comes under the great heat and pressure, then the characteristics of primary rocks, that primary rocks may be your igneous rock or sedimentary rocks, their characteristics changes due to the high heat and pressure, that known as metamorphic rocks. For example, quartz, then slate, marble, gneiss, okay, sheets. These are the examples of metamorphic rock. Now the second classification is your physical classification. Okay. Now what is the physical classification? The classification based on the general structure of rock. According to these, the rocks are classified into three types. First one is a stratified rock. These rocks possesses planes of stratification or cleavage, and such rocks can be easily split along these planes. Okay, there are cleavages or stratification means between two rocks there are the cracks. You can easily separate these rocks with that cleavage. So these rocks are called as a stratified rocks and stratified rocks. Second one is your and stratified rocks. The structure may be crystalline, granular, or compact granular. Okay, the structure of rock is crystalline, means powder type, crystalline granular, or compact granular. For example, igneous rocks and sedimentary rocks affected by movement of earth. Okay, whatever the primary rocks or secondary rocks, igneous or sedimentary rocks, when they comes under the movement of earth, okay, then that becomes stratified rock. Okay, and then the last is your foliated rocks. The rocks have a tendency to split up in a definite direction only, that is called as a foliated rocks. For example, metamorphic rock, okay, means they split in same direction or in a same plane, then that rock is called as a foliated rocks. Okay, then the last one, your chemical classification. According to this classification, rocks are classified into three types. Now the first one is your siliceous rock. Okay, now the name itself indicates siliceous means it is the silica is predominant in these rocks. Okay, silica is predominant in this rock. Predominant means important and main content in these rocks. These rocks are hard, durable, and not easily affected by weathering agencies. Weathering agencies means your heat, okay, then wind, temperature, wind, okay, then your glaciers means ice impact, okay, these are the weathering effect. Rain, these are weathering effects, and because of these weathering effects, these rocks are not easily affected because of these weathering effects. Okay, so these are called as a siliceous rocks, and in these siliceous rocks, silica is predominant role. Okay, and example for siliceous rock is your granite and quartzite. Okay, next one is your argillaceous. Argillaceous rock is, in these rocks clay is predominant. Okay, in this type of rocks clay plays means clay is more present in these rocks. Okay, the rocks may be dense and compact or may be soft. Okay, for example, slate, laterite means your जांबा. ओके, जो आता आपण कोकणामध्ये जो दगड बघतो त्याला आपण लॅटराइट स्टोन असं म्हणतो, चिरा ज्याला आपण म्हणतो. ओके, दॅट इज मेड अप ऑफ क्ले, क्ले पार्टिकल्स. ओके, ते क्ले पार्टिकल्स कंपोजिट होऊन होऊन तो काय झालेला असतो, कॉम्पॅक्ट झाला असतो, अँड दॅट इज सॉफ्ट सॉइल ऑल्सो. सॉफ्ट, इट इज ऑल्सो इन सॉफ्ट, अँड सो दिस रॉक इज कॉल्ड एज अ argillaceous rock. Okay, next one is your calcareous rock. Now in calcareous rock, name it also indicates the it presence of calcium carbonate in that rocks. Okay, means calcium carbonate is predominant. And durability of these rocks depends upon the constituents present in surrounding atmosphere. Means it is totally depends on the weather conditions in the atmosphere. For example, limestone, marble. Okay, marble is affected due to the acid rains. Okay, if your weather is acidic, then marble is affected. Okay, so the your durability of these rocks is totally depends on your weathering conditions or surrounding conditions. Next, use of stones. Okay, so what is the use of stone? Now the first use is your structure. Okay, stones are used for foundation, then walls, then columns, then lintels, arches, roofs, floor, dam proof courses, etc. In structure, at a various stages, and in various stages we'll use the stone for a structure. That may be used for foundation or walls of your building, then columns, then for a lintel means it is above the window, then arches you will provide arches in your building also, or you have also seen the arches in bridges. Okay, that arch action is found due to the stones. Then roofs, for roofs you can use the stones. Then floors means your लादी जिथे आपण बसवतो त्याला आपण फ्लोअर्स असं म्हणतो. देन डॅम प्रूफ कोर्स, below the bottom of your wall you'll use the stones. Okay, now face work. Okay, stones are adopted to give massive appearance to the structure. Okay, means for elevation point of view or elegance point of view we are using these stones uh, to for a great appearance of a building. We'll use these stones as a cladding. Stone cladding, we are doing the stone cladding means walls of bricks and facings is done in the stone of desired shades. Okay, after construction of building we'll use these stones along with your wall, so that is called as a composite masonry structure. Right, next one is your paving stone. Now you have already known about the paving blocks. Paving blocks are used, right? Now these are the man-made blocks. Paving blocks are man-made blocks. Why we are using paving blocks? Because stone is natural material and it is very costly. So we'll prefer the paving blocks. Okay, and for paving blocks, instead of paving blocks, we are also using stone as a paving block to cover the. See, these are used to cover the floor of a building for various type of such as a residential, then commercial, industrial, etc. for roads and footpaths. Right. Now next one is your basic material. That is fourth is your basic material. We use stones are disintegrated and converted to form of basic materials of a cement, concrete, then room of roads, calcareous cement, artificial stone, hollow blocks, etc. For that purpose also we are using stone as a basic material. Therefore, a miscellaneous use. Okay, miscellaneous use means stones are used for ballast for railways. Okay, ballast for railways. You have seen the rock bolts or rock stones below the railway track. Okay, so these are the ballast for railways. Then flux in ballast furnace. Okay, then blocks in the construction of bridges, piers, abutment, then retaining walls, lighthouses, dams, etc. These are the miscellaneous uses of stones. Okay, now we'll see some good qualities of stone. When we will call it as a stone is in a good quality. Okay, now these are some good qualities or requirements for a building stone. First one is your crushing strength. Okay, for a good building stone, the crushing strength should be greater than 1000 kg per centimeter square. See, the crushing strength should be greater than 1000 kg per centimeter square. Then your stone is called as a good in crushing strength. Okay, then next one is your appearance. Good building stones should be uniform in color, then free from clay holes, then spots and other color bands, etc. That should be in uniform in color. They should be free from clay holes. Okay, and it is capable of preserving the color for long time. Means whatever the color exists right now, that will be exist for a long time. Then that will called as a good in appearance. Okay, then durability. A durability is major constraint or main point in the building material. Durability means what? How long it will work. How long it will work. That is called as a durability. A good building stone should be durable, means it should be sustained for a long time. The factors like heat, cold, alternative weights and dry, okay, means weathering effect does not affect on that stone, okay, and it will sustain as it is. That means your stone is durable, right? Then gases in rains, high winds, velocity, etc. affect the durability. Okay, these are factors affecting and durability. Okay, then next one is your fractures. Okay, for a good building stone, its fracture should be sharp, even and clear. Okay, the stone should be sharp, even and clear. Next one is your hardness. Hardness greater than 17 treated as a hard used in a road work. Okay, hardness greater than 17. And if your hardness is between 14 to 17, then your stone is your medium hard, and if it is less than 14, then it is soft stone. Okay, then percentage wear. For a good building stone, the percentage wear should be equal to or less than 3%, means other materials in that stone, that is called a percentage wear, that should not be greater than 3%. Okay, then resistance to fire. A good building stone should be fireproof. Sandstone, argillous stones resist the fire quite well. Okay, this type of stones resist the fire. Then specific gravity. For a building stone, the specific gravity should be greater than 2.7 or so. It is not 8.7, it is 2.7 or so. It is greater than 2.7, then it is good in specific gravity. Okay, then structure. A good building stone should be compact, fine crystalline structure, should be free from cavities, then cracks and patches of stuff of loose material. Okay, that should be your structure of texture of your building material. Okay, like stone. Then next factor is your water absorption. For a good building stone, the percentage absorption by weight after 24 hours should not be exceed 0.60%. Okay, for a stone, water absorption should not be 0.60%. And how we will calculate the water absorption? We will pour your stone or aggregates in a water for a 24 hours. Okay, and after that we will take the weight of that stone, and that should not be exceed 0.60%. Okay, absorption of water. Then next was the one is your seasoning. Seasoning means what? You have to keep your building material or building stones in a season. You have to keep it for a different seasons, means your winter, in your summer. Okay, at least period for 6 to 12 months. Okay, and it is considered sufficient for a proper seasoning. Okay, then it is considered as a proper seasoning. Next one is your toughness index. Impact test. The value of toughness index less than 13 is not tough. If it is between 13 to 19, then it is moderate, and it is greater than 19, then it is high in toughness. Its toughness index is high. This is all in, you have to study in transportation engineering. What is meant by toughness index and how you calculate the toughness index of your rock or stone. Next one is your characteristics of stones. In order to ensure the suitable selection of stone of particular work, one must be conversant with its composition, characteristics, uses and place of availability where the stone is available. Okay, so the characteristics of stones. Now first we will see granite. Okay, what are the characteristics of granite? It is igneous rock, okay, composed of quartz, feldspar, mica, and other minerals. These are the minerals present in the granite. Available in green color, gray, brown, and pink in red. It is hard and durable. Then high resistance to weathering. Texture varies with the quality. Its quality. Specific gravity is 2.7 and compressive strength is 700 to 1300 kg per centimeter square. Okay, used for ornamental, then road metal, then railway ballast, aggregate for concrete, for construction of bridges, piers, and marine work. Okay, so that is granite stone. Next one is your ballast stone. It is igneous rock. Okay, it is compacted, hard, and heavy. Available in red, yellow, gray, blue, in greenish color. Okay, specific gravity is 3. Compressive strength varies from 1530 to 1890 kg per centimeter square, and used as a ornamental, then road work, ballast, aggregates for a concrete, etc. Okay, so this is about the ballast. Next one is your sandstone, and for sandstone it is sedimentary rock, means secondary type of rock. It is available in various forms: fine grain, coarse grain, okay, compact or porous. Okay, available in white, green, blue, black, and yellow color. Specific gravity is 2.65 to 2.95. Compressive strength is 650 kg per centimeter square. Used for a ashlar work only. Then limestones, okay, sedimentary. It is also sedimentary rock. It is available in various forms which differ from one another in color, composition, texture, hardness, and durability. Okay. Then compact limestone is there, granular limestone is there, magnesia limestone is there, conker limestone is there, and it is used for paving of road metals, etc. Next one is your marble. It is metamorphic rock, available in white, blue, green, yellow, black, and red in color. Okay. Uh, it is high compactness, suitable for decorative works like wall lining, columns, piles. Okay, piles, table, slab, then tilted floors, steps, stairs, etc. This is used for designing work or decorative work. Next one is your slate. Metamorphic. It is also metamorphic rock, non-absorbent, compact, fine grained, and produce metallic ringing sound when stuck to each other. Okay, available in black, dark blue, gray, reddish, in brown colors. It is used for providing damp-proof course, paving dados, etc. Then selection of stone. How will you select the stone? What are the criteria for selection of stone? Okay, in contemplating the use of the stone for various engineering works, the selection of the nature and quality of the stone is governed by the purpose in view, then cost of stone, its ornamental value, and durability. Right. Now we'll see some point for selection of stones. First, for the face work, if you have to do the face work, in general, marble, granite, and close grained stones are used in the form of thin slabs, that is veneers, which the structure subjected to adverse effects. Right. Second one is for pillar, balustrades, then pedestal. Balustrades means your which is used in your stairs, then pedestals, then columns, statues, and the door and window sills, and paving stones, granite, marbles, and compact limestones can be recommended. Okay. Then for ornamental work such as molding and carving, fine grained stones, fine grained marble, and fine grained granite is used. And for bridges, piers, docks, breakwaters, and other marine structures, the stone used to be very hard, very strong, and durable granite and gneisses are recommended for this purpose. Okay. For road metal, stone should be hard, tough, resist to abrasion, and durable. The ballast and coarse grained granite also generally recommended for this purpose. Okay. And for railway ballast, stone should be hard, dense, durable, tough, and easily workable. Sandstone, compact, limestone, trap, and quartzites are commonly used. In situations like steps, doors, sills, paving, etc., which are which where there is regular flow of traffic, stone should be hard, dense, easily workable and durable. For that, marble, slate, and sandstones are commonly used. Okay, and in fireproof construction, compact and stones should be always preferred. Compact sandstones. Okay, then artificial stones. What do you mean by artificial stones? These are also known as cast stones or reconstructed stones. Okay, natural stones are very costly, they are not easily available, so we are good for man-made stones, that is called as a artificial stones. Okay, these are casted stones. Now see, first one is your cement concrete. This is the mixture of cement, fine aggregate and coarse aggregate and water. If it may be cast inside or precast if steel is used with the cement concrete. This is known as a reinforced cement concrete. In cement concrete, if you are using steel, then that is called as a reinforced cement concrete. Otherwise, it is called as only concrete. Okay. Then mosaic tiles. Precast concrete tiles with the help of chips at top surface are known as a tiles. Okay, mosaic tiles. These are available in different shades and widely adopted at the present. Okay, these are man-made tiles. Then terrazzo. This is the mixture of marble chips and cement. It is used for bathroom, residential buildings, temples, etc. These are terrazzo tiles. And along with these, there are some more tiles, that is vitrified tiles, double vitrified tiles. Okay, these are also man-made tiles. Then advantages of artificial stone. Cavities may be kept in artificial stones to convey the pipes, electric wires, etc. You can keep cavities, means holes, to convey the pipes, then electrical wires in artificial stone. Then grooves can be kept in artificial stones while it is being cast, which are useful for fixing various fittings. Okay, while casting will keep the grooves in your artificial stone. Then it can be cast in desired shape. Whatever shape you want, you can cast in that shape. Okay, it can be used in the single piece, and hence trouble of getting large blocks of lintels, beams, etc. is avoided. You can cast in a single piece. It can be made stronger than natural stone also. Then it is cheap and economical, and it is more durable than natural stone. Then natural bed is absent in artificial stone, and hence the question of taking precautions with the respect to the natural beds of stone does not arise. So this is also very important. Next one is your aggregate and its grading. How will you do the grading of aggregates? Means how will you forget at the aggregates in different zones? Okay, there are some simple methods to grade the aggregate, means segregate the aggregate in a different portions. Means these are the this type of aggregates, these are the this type of aggregates according to its properties. Okay, now aggregates are is derived from the igneous, sedimentary, and metamorphic rocks, or is manufactured from clays, slags, etc. The properties of aggregates are directly related to those of its constituents and should be hard and strong. Okay. Now, the grading of aggregates is depends based on their size. Aggregates are classified as a fine aggregate and coarse aggregate. Okay. First, we will see the how will you aggregate classified. Aggregates are classified in two types: fine grade aggregate and coarse grade aggregate. How will you classify these aggregates? By doing sieve analysis. Okay, sieve analysis will do the will find these aggregates are fine aggregates or coarse aggregate. Now the material, most of the various passes from 4.75 IS sieve. 4.75 is Indian standard sieve. Okay, and from that we will, this is the boundary 4.75. Okay, if your aggregate passing from 4.75 mm, okay, then the passed aggregate is called as a fine aggregate, and if it is retained on 4.75 mm sieve, okay, the aggregates which are retained on 4.75 mm sieve and above the 4.75 mm, means size above 4.75 mm, these aggregates are called as a coarse aggregate. Okay, So the river sand is come under the fine aggregate, okay, which has fine grains, and coarse aggregates means your ballast, crushed hard stone, okay. These are your coarse aggregate. Then grading of aggregate. The grading of aggregate are done by following methods. First one is your trial and error method, means your trial method. In this method, proportioning of aggregate has to give heaviest weight for the same volume yield to the densest concrete, means you have to do the concrete and you have to take just weight, okay. If the weight is densest or heaviest, then that aggregate will be, is segregated. Depending on that weight, we will choose the grade of aggregate, okay. The next one is your fineness modulus method, that is sieve analysis method. This is the most accurate and important method, or which is generally used for IS 383 for grading of aggregates, okay. In this method we'll do the sieve analysis, okay, and after sieve analysis we'll find the fineness modulus, okay. How will you do? In this method, the samples of both coarse aggregate and fine aggregates are passing through the set of 9 standard ISUs, okay. The 4.75 mm is one of the sieve from 9 ISUs, okay. And you have to first just pass these all coarse aggregate or fine aggregate from the 9 ISUs, standard ISUs, and percentage of sample written on each sieve that you have to calculate, okay, and that percentage is divided by 100, that gives the fineness modulus of that sample, right. So this is the simple method. And next one is your by minimum void method, means in this method, the based on the fact that to obtain dense concrete, the quality of cement should also be slightly in excess of voids more than that the fine aggregates. In this method, the voids in the fines and coarse aggregate are separately found out with the help of graduated cylinder and the water. The percentage of voids aggregates, that is x, given by the equation where x is equal to v1 minus v2 divided by v2 into 100, where v1 is volume of water filled in that cylinder and v2 is volume of aggregate. We have to just dip that aggregate in that water filled cylinder, then that gives you the excess water is come out of that cylinder and you will get the volume of that aggregate, okay. And if the volume of aggregate is more, means your aggregate is more dense, so it is graded, okay. And depending on that volume, you will get the x. On that equation you will get the values of x, and on that x values we will grade the aggregate, okay. And last one is your by arbitrary standards. It is commonly adopted method for portioning of the aggregate in a concrete mix for small work of the moderate importance, which is less important work. In this method, this method is not recommended for large works or important works. In this method, the volume of cement and sand and coarse aggregates are taken in the proportion, that is 1 as to n as to 2n, okay, respectively. The quality of water is used as a varied suited and workability desired, right. So this is the conventional mix of concrete, where 1 is your cement, n is your fine aggregate, and 2n is your coarse aggregate, okay. Means suppose your mix proportion is 1 as to 1 as to 2, means your this is the nominal mix of M25. If you have to achieve the M25 grade of concrete, M25, this is not M250, that is nothing but M25. M25 means what? 25 Newton per mm square strength you have to achieve in 28 days of concrete, okay. If you cast the concrete today, after 28 days the strength of concrete should be 25 Newton per mm square. A means for mix, 25 is for Newton per mm square is your strength of that concrete. So for that the nominal mix is 1 is to 1 is to 2. If you have to achieve the M20 grade of concrete, then mix should be 1 is to 1 is to 3, 1 is to 1.5 is to 3. This is not 1, this is 1.5, 1 is to 1.5 is to 3. Then for M15 slab 1:3 to 6. Okay. Then for foundation 1:3 to 6. Okay, M10 slab. And for mass concreting or for a plinth work we will use 1:4 to 8 concrete. Okay, so these are the nominal mixes of concrete. So with this we'll stop here, and this is all about the uh, building material, which is stone. In next lecture we will see some another building material. Okay, thank you.